Welcome to the Chronically Healthy Life Show. When you hear the word chronically, do you automatically associate it with chronic disease? We all do. It's been programmed right into us. But what if we flip that whole idea on its head? Let's discover how we can create chronic health in our bodies, our minds, our relationships, our finances, and of course, in our lives. Let's jump right on in. I'm Andy, and joining me in everything is Minna. So what are we going to be talking about today?
Well, our life, our show is all about lives, which is longevity, independence, family, and environment. And let's talk about environment. There's a lot of threats in the environment these days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like anywhere you look, like I don't look a lot of news, but you see wildfires. That's all you see. There's a fire here, there's a fire there, there's fires going on everywhere, right?
Right? And the wildfires are definitely a threat to our environment. It's burning down trees, of course, and it's causing a lot of pollution in our air, and it's making a lot of people sick. And of course, the bad weather. We have like super high heat and super dry weather here in Texas. And of course, on the coast, there is something called hurricanes.
Yeah, the hurricane, right? Yeah, it's like they're making things up now.
It's like whatever. Basically, it's hurricanes and earthquakes together, and it's not a good combination.
I agree. When I saw that, I didn't know what to laugh or cry because, of course, we have family in LA. And I'm glad that even though it was a 5.5, it didn't really cause damage, which was actually quite surprising.
Yeah, I think we've experienced 5.5 when we were in the Bay Area.
Mhm.
And it is big, but it's not enough to like cause damage. But still, it's a scary thing to experience.
Exactly.
So with all these threats, right, we're calling them acts of God.
hmm
Is it really acts of God?
it's interesting, because certain things, you hear about conspiracy theories, and sometimes I think we shouldn't dismiss all conspiracy theories because a lot of times they become proven to be true, right?
Yeah, so there's one particular one that I was interested in, and it was a friend that's introduced to us recently. And so this is a place, and it's called HAARP, which is a research program in Alaska. High frequency active oral research program. I don't know what it is. It sounds very scientific, and the conspiracy theorists call them is claiming that whatever they're doing, these highly scientific things they're doing, is causing damage to the environment. They're actually generating lightnings, and they're changing the weather. They're causing earthquakes. Incidentally, there's earthquakes in Turkey, in other places, in LA, and actually even in Alaska. So is there an ever God, or have we gone to the point that we're actually so advanced that we can actually generate these things as on demand? I don't know.
Yeah, that's so true, because it's interesting how we've been here in Texas for 2 years now, and this is like a really uncharacteristic dry summer, right? Like last couple of summers, we got these amazing, beautiful thunderstorms, and we haven't seen any yet. So once again, is it normal or isn't? Who knows? We're just throwing it out there.
Yeah, so I'm just, what I'm showing here is a picture of this facility in Alaska. And the funny thing is, if you look closer, maybe I can show you this shot. This thing, whatever it is, I have no idea what it's doing. It's actually on a ship. So it can go whenever it wants to go. And whatever it does, we don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying they are causing earthquakes because I don't know. But there are a lot of conspiracy theories that eventually they actually turned out to be true. So it's something that I want people to be aware of. It's not just, acts of God. Sometimes people play God.
Correct. Especially with technology now, as things get more and more advanced. And, just going through some conspiracy theories over the years, that's been proven to be true. So let's go with number one conspiracy. The CIA was testing LSD and other hallucinogenic drugs on Americans in top secret experiment on modifying behavior.
And that, during the time, of course, of CIA, because they're saying, no, we're not doing that, Americans. And the truth is, of course they are. The program was called MK Ultra, and it is proven to be real. So the CIA started using volunteers, including a novelist called Ken Casey, and he's one of those notable subjects, and that's how this whole thing came out. But the program head, they soon began dosing people without them knowing about it, which is basically LSD. That's what people do too.
Yeah, which isn't cool.
Right?
Right, but it is, once again, one of those conspiracy theories that ended up being true, right?
And it's causing a lot of victims to be actually permanently mentally disabled. So imagine if you're one of those people that were disabled, or your family is one of those people that became disabled, and people keep telling you this is fake, it's not true, but in your heart it is.
Exactly.
It just depends on your perspective.
Exactly. And number 2 is one of my favorite. For decades, tobacco companies buried evidence that smoking is deadly. I remember that, when you used to go see your doctor will be smoking. And he said, hey, if it makes you feel good, it'll be fine. It doesn't cause cancer. It doesn't cause all these lung cancer, all these problems, all these chronic conditions. And guess what?
Well, even back in the 50s, they already know there's a statistical link between smoking and lung cancer. But it wasn't until the 90s, 40 years man, that they actually managed to keep this a secret for 40 years. And in the 90s, Philip Morris actually eventually came out and said that smoking could cause cancer. And this took 40 years to unfold.
Exactly. And, the interesting thing is now smoking's out, but vaping's in. But same thing, right? Same thing. You're still smoking. You're still inhaling toxins and poisons, right? And, there are so many benefits of quitting smoking. They're so huge. It's like after you quit smoking, food just tastes better because your taste buds are nulled by all those toxins, right?
For sure. You smell better because you don't smell like smoke anymore. And of course, you're not going to drop dead because of lung cancer.
Exactly. All those toxins build up. It could be lung cancer. It could be causing all sorts of other things that can chronically cause problems down the road. So taking that all out, no more smoking, right?
And of course, there's one more. With the advances in technology, social media, all that, the government is using its resources to track citizens. And of course, once again, government says, we don't do that. We won't do that to you. You have your Americans, you have your privacy, right? Of course not.
Well, the truth is, in 2016, government agencies sent 49,868 requests for user data to Facebook. They sent out 27,850 to Google and 9,076 to Apple, according to the Electronic Frontier Foundation, which is known as the EFF, which is a major nonprofit organization that defends civil liberties in the digital world and advises the public on matters of internet privacy. So here we are, we think that we're not being tracked, and we're being tracked about our knowledge. And guess what? They are tracking us.
Yeah, I'm glad there's this organization that has come out and trying to defend our liberties, our rights in the world. And, organizations like this one, the EFF, or even like the Children's Health Defense.
Yes.
They're doing something really well that is trying to protect the people not to just believe whatever the government says.
I believe that, at the end of the day, we should all have our privacy, right? If we choose to be private, great. If there's something that you want to share to the world, that's great too. That's up to you, but it should be our choice.
For sure. And, of course, the latest one, there's a lot of conspiracy theories going on with the Maui fires.
Yeah. And, the sad thing is there are so many people that lost their homes and businesses that was passed on from generations and generations. It was theirs. Like they owned it. They had no mortgage on it. Now it's like, I don't know how they're ever going to be able to rebuild and recover. The land is burnt, their business is gone forever. And there's already like real estate companies trying to scoop in and buy the properties in for pennies on the dollar, right?
Almost they're waiting for it to happen. It's like the minute it goes fire, these people just heard it and, hey, would you like to sell us your land because you're not going to be able to rebuild your house? I'm like,
yeah,
really? The timing of it is...
It's
just weird.
A little bit skeptical,
It's skeptical, and I think it's just really, regardless whether you believe him or not, I think it's good to know. And use your brain. Think harder. Don't just believe what the government or the CIA, whatever the social media is telling you that they're not doing or they are doing. Use your head.
Exactly. Remember, Holly, be a free thinker, right? That's all we're saying is everyone should be doing their own research, do all your own thinking. Don't believe everything that you read on the internet. And, follow up with your own facts, do your own digging into it and see where it takes you.
For sure. We're going to go take a break and we'll be right back.
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later years full of energy, vitality, and good health. But so often, with age, our bodies start to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing and recovery time, sleep, it all just seems to go downhill. Unless you're using LifeWave X39, the world's first product ever to activate stem cells, a true breakthrough in regenerative science that helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state. The secret? By harnessing the power of LifeWave's patented phototherapy, X39 uses light to elevate a peptide proven to signal the activation of stem cells. Think about it. These are the cells that generate and regenerate all the cells and structures of the human body. They're the building blocks for our organs, tissues, blood, and immune system. They also serve as an internal repair system everywhere. But as we age, stem cells become less effective. Their ability to repair damaged tissue is reduced. In fact, by age 60, they've slowed dramatically. But all that changes when just one LifeWave X39 patch is placed anywhere on the body each day. It's time you experience the power of X39.
Hi everyone, it's Andy from Chronically Healthy Life, and on today's biohacking episode, we're going to talk about EMF, which stands for electric magnetic fields. And that actually includes magnetic fields, it includes electric fields, and then of course it includes radio frequencies, right? So let me break that down. When you talk about magnetic fields, you got devices that's going to emit magnetic fields like your iPhones, your iPads, your computers, right? And then you also have all these devices around your home that emit electric fields like your refrigerator, your toaster ovens, your microwaves, your TVs, your washer, dryer, and computers and stuff like that. Those are electric fields. And then it comes down to radio frequencies, and this includes your Wi-Fi, includes your 5G, your 4G, your LTE that your phones are getting. So all these things are part of EMF, which can affect people differently. Some people are more sensitive and some people are less sensitive. But people that are sensitive to EMF, they could be experiencing brain fog, they can be tired all the time, they could be so tired and yet they can't sleep. It can drive chronic inflammation in the body by causing oxidative stress, which can cause all sorts of other problems too. So it may not always be exercise and eating that you're already doing, but maybe it's electromagnetic fields that's affecting you at home. So for us at home, we always try to lower our electromagnetic fields as much as possible. So we got what's called a tri-field here, EMF reader. And this actually measures all three, magnetic fields, electric fields, and the RF fields. And when it comes to measuring magnetic fields, what you want is a number of 1 milligauss and less. And as you can see here, I got about 0.2 in the kitchen. And you want lower numbers in areas that you spend most of your time, like in front of your computer, when you're working, when you're watching TV, when you're relaxing, and most importantly, when you sleep, right? The next field is electric fields. And electric fields, ideally, what you want is a number of 10 volts per meter or less, right? And right now I have almost like 0 here. So once again, depending on where you spend the most time on, that's the number you want. But sometimes that's difficult because if you're like us, that we're working from home, we got a large screen TV as our monitor, we got our computers, we got our iPads, we got our Wi-Fi router close to our room. The electric field might be fairly high, like 50 and above. So you're gonna have to figure out ways to protect yourself. But this number is important when you're sleeping. And just a quick story. We have 2 bedrooms, a guest bedroom and our master bedroom. And for some reason, the guest bedroom, we always slept better. We can never figure out why. And right before this episode, I checked that the magnetic field, both rooms are really good at 0.2, but the electric field upstairs was like 5 volts per meter, but in our bedrooms about 30 to 40 because we got like heating, cooling blankets, we got Wi-Fi enabled devices in the room, we got charging ports in the room. So, there's so many more electric devices in the room. So that's something that we need to figure out what to do to lower that down too. And how can you protect yourself when it comes down to these things? Because even like RF, right? Your Wi-Fi, your cellular phones, and this measures that too. And ideally, you want 1 or less for the radio fields, right? The 1 milliwatt per meter squared is what you want. And, once again, you want that nice and low. And if it's too high, it's going to disrupt your sleep, right? So certain things you can do is at nighttime, you can turn off your Wi-Fi. That'll turn off all the Wi-Fi devices. You can turn off your phone to airplane mode, right? And that'll lower the RF frequencies. Or you can do what we do. We actually have what's called harmony pendants. And these are proven. I don't have any way of proving it, but these are proven to stop some of these electric fields affecting your body. So it's supposed to lower your exposure to EMF fields. So that's what we do to protect ourselves when we can't control what our devices are emitting. And the second thing that you want to do is EMF, they cause oxidative stress, which can cause inflammation in your body. And when you have chronic inflammation all the time, you can have gut problems, brain fog, tiredness, problems sleeping, energy problems. And one of the best ways to do that is to boost your glutathione. And if you caught our last week's biohacking video, we talk about the importance of glutathione. And one of our best hacks now that, we're sharing with everyone is get a glutathione patch, right? It's something like that, right? If you want to find out more information about that, definitely call us, email us, text us, reach out to us, because this glutathione patch boosts your glutathione by 300%. So not only is it reducing oxidative stress, it's also boosting your immune system. Well, I hope this helps you learn a little bit more about EMF fields. And once again, if there's anything that you want to reach out for more, always reach out to us, ask us any questions, and please comment on our videos. Welcome back to the Chronically Healthy Life Show. And, it's crazy. We were just talking about EMF, our main bedroom's a little high. Gonna have to figure out how to do something about that.
Yeah, take out those Wi-Fi devices, the phones, watches, tablets. We have so many things.
Exactly. The convenience factor, So, what do you want to talk about next?
Well, I heard you debate with one of your friends about your car seat thing the other day.
Yes. The baby car seats recycling. And I thought it was amusing because she mentioned that Target and Walmart, they take trade-ins of your car seats, but it has to be a certain age, right? And I was just doing a little research on this, and they're saying that car seats are only meant to last 6 years to 10 years. But certain states may even make it shorter, so you can't use it to pass on to family, friends, and stuff anymore because they're technically not safe, and you have to trade it in. And these companies will take it all apart and recycle it. And I just don't think, to be honest, they're going to do it.
It's interesting because I think I heard you say that, do you think the Target is going to actually take it all apart and recycle the parts?
Right. And that's what they say they do. Maybe they do, maybe they don't,
No, so here's how it goes. With the logistics world, right? Things get into the store, that's called logistics. There's a newer thing called reverse logistics, which is basically everything returns. Mm-hmm. Online returns for sure. Amazon, you have a lot of online returns. They don't always go back to Amazon. In fact, they mostly don't go back to Amazon. Mm-hmm. I know that Amazon came out and said they do not put any of the returns to a landfill. The key is they don't.
Correct.
They send it to these reverse logistics providers. They let them handle it. So however they handle it, Amazon says, not my problem. Target says, not my problem. Mm-hmm. They can assume whatever it is. And again, the trade-in price, whatever it is that they give you, is built into the price of the car seat.
So true, so true. It's like there are all these distribution centers that you can buy back all these return products for Amazon. And now actually we have an auction place, which I thought was auctioning stuff, but is actually auctioning returned higher price Amazon products.
They actually just,
right?
They do tell you this on Amazon online return auctions.
Exactly. And then we don't know where some of these things may be even shipping to other third world countries and stuff like that too, right?
So you might have seen some stores where you go in there craters of stuff in big boxes.
Yes.
You can these $1 box, $5 box, and $10 boxes, and you don't know what's inside.
And you can bid on them, right?
You can bid on them. That's part of the liquidators that handles online returns, and all these. That's just how the whole reverse logistics goes. They don't always recycle everything. In fact, I think they mostly don't. If they can sell it, they will sell it. Sometimes, I know some of the low-cost things, like little cables and stuff that I got at Amazon.
Correct.
I will return it. They give me back my money, but they don't want it back, so I just kept the cable.
Correct.
You just don't know when that's going to happen because it's basically a free product, even though I don't need it.
Exactly, because it doesn't work or it wasn't suitable for our case, but it's actually cheaper for them not to return it, right? Because otherwise, what are they going to do with it? It actually costs them more for shipping the ship back to them, right?
Yeah, so I guess the lesson here is just don't take at face value whatever the stores are telling you, because they would make it sound glamorous and green and environmental friendly, whatever it is that makes you feel good. It doesn't mean that's what they're doing. Everything gets sent out. It's not their problem. But again, you're paying for it.
And let's just say, like you said, it's all about money, right? It's their bottom line.
Right. And everything they return, they always know what percentage got returned. That percentage gets built into your price also. So, even though you don't think you're paying for a premium, you are.
So true. So true. Coming up, we have Kristy's Kids Corner.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is tip number 4. Today, we're going to start with glue. Please, no liquid glue. No glitter glue. It's liquid. Anything like this spills, makes a huge mess, difficult to clean up, very distracting. Instead, go with the glue sticks. Yes, they still get sticky, but they're washable. They don't make a mess. They don't spill. And if a glue stick dries up, they can just grab another one. The next thing, pens. Now, you probably don't want to give young pens, but once they're to grade 3, they're going to probably want to start using them. Gel pens, wonderful. They glide across the page. It's much less fatiguing for little hands that are learning fine motor skills. They come in a lot of colors, although do please get the blue and black, which are the standard for writing and doing homework and things like that, because the other colors tend to be too light. Also, I do advocate for erasable pens. I know some people don't, but I personally like them because I've worked a lot with kids that need to erase a lot. And by the way, back to the white gum erasers, work really well with erasable pens. I think that they're a handy cross between a pencil and a pen that help kids transition from pencil to pen. Next up, scissors. Do not buy adult-sized scissors for your kids that are young. This is a terrible accident just waiting to happen. Get the safety scissors. They have them in right-handed and left-handed. They usually have the rounded tip. You can get them a little bit bigger for the older kids that still have the safety feature on them.
Hi, everyone. This is Kristy Boyd Johnson of the Barefoot Learning Club. It is a sad fact that today politics have completely taken over the schools. Real learning has been sacrificed for political agendas. As a result, kids are not learning to read. We have 2nd and 3rd graders barely reading, except for those lucky kids who will read no matter what the schools do to them. Unfortunately, that is not the majority. When I was teaching, I watched how really good reading systems were systematically eliminated from the schools. I saw kids shutting down and believing that they were too dumb to learn. Worse still, by making reading unattainable, they are essentially stealing our kids' futures. So the rebel that is me went on a quest to find reading programs that really work, that work with our neurological systems to enhance and speed up the learning process. And the number one thing that needs to happen is that we have to teach our kids to read. That is why Alicia and I started the Barefoot Learning Club. We are giving everyone the opportunity to learn to read in a way that is simple, fast, and fun. Best of all, your kids will start having success and never again believe that they are too dumb to learn. Go to barefootlearningclub.com now and sign up. Join me in being a rebel and let's get our kids reading. If they can read, they can literally do anything.
Welcome back to the Chronically Healthy Life Show. This week we got Prentice Ahmad, and he is formerly known as Prince Michael and is one of the most vivacious speakers you're ever going to hear. He's the host of the Chat podcast, as well as two-time international best-selling author of the books such as No Time Like the Present, I Am a Flight Attendant, and That Is My Superpower, and the Handbook to Developing Human Equity, World Civility, The Missing Element. Prentice Ahmad is also the first Mr. US United 2023 crowned just recently, July 2023. So from homeless being on public assistance to now a CEO entrepreneur, Prentice Ahmad's transparency and charismatic coaching has influenced audiences worldwide, proving that we all have potential to be great. And that is, and what we do with that potential is what matters. Welcome to our show, Prentice. How are you?
I'm doing well, Andy. Thank you so much for that amazing introduction. I don't even know if there's anything else I could say. You hit everything.
No, I am just honored to be, you to be on a show. We're both at BTPY this weekend, Becoming the Best You, and I'm honored to have you as one of our guests because we're both going to be speakers there. But I see your whole crown there. I would love to hear a little bit more about your journey, to becoming the first Mr. US United 2020. And, what does that actually mean? I think a lot of people are very interested what that actually means.
Yeah, honestly, the easiest way that I can explain what this crown and what this title means is very simple. Most of America, or even the world, is familiar with Miss USA. Everyone is familiar with that pageant. A lot of people are also familiar with Miss America, Miss Earth, Miss Universe. Everyone is familiar with those pageants, but most people are not familiar with the male pageants. They're not familiar with Mr. Supranational. They're not familiar with Mr. US United. So Mr. US United was born this year. This was the very first time that they ever allowed males to be able to compete. And I had been wanting to do a pageant for about a year or two now. And a lot of the pageants, once you reach a certain age, even though I'm still 25 and holding, but once you still reach a certain age, you have become too old in order for you to compete. The same as for the women. Once you reach 30, you are then considered to be old in the pageant world. They want the new, they want the younger one. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to do some other pageants, and unfortunately, I was too old in order for me to be able to do them. So I got a phone call from a friend of mine, and I swear every time she calls me, it's always either a business opportunity, I'm getting ready to make some money, or now this time I was getting ready to compete in a pageant. And she started telling me that she was actually Miss Plus in 2022, Miss US United. And I said, I've never heard of that. And she says, I know. She said, because most pageants do not cater to women of full figure. They also do not cater to women after a certain age. However, US United does not do that. They allow everyone to be able to compete in their own category. So I said, oh my gosh. So I did a little research on it, and come to find out, I decided that it was in alignment with what I wanted to do and my goals and my dreams and aspirations. And I said, you know what? I'm going to, put in for the application. I became the very first Mr. Georgia. I was the inaugural Mr. Georgia in 2023. And then nationals happened in July. And we got down to the nitty gritty. It was myself against Mr. Texas. And when I just got my photos back and I'm sitting there and I'm shaking. And when they announced the first runner up was Mr. Texas, I was just like, oh my gosh, I won. So it was an amazing experience. So now, since I've become the new Mr. US United, the inaugural, actually, the very first, I've been doing a lot of appearances. I have a lot of interviews that I've been doing, a lot of newspaper articles, a lot of magazines. It's a lot, but it's so much fun because you get an opportunity to meet so many people. I was actually with the Clayton County Police. I was at the Clayton County Police Festival, and I got an opportunity to go there, meet the police officers, smile and wave. I got an opportunity to, in October, I'll be volunteering at the domestic violence walk. Then, as of yesterday, I just partnered with Clothes Less Traveled, and then I have some other partnerships that are in that are in the works as well. So, Mr. US United has been real busy since I got crowned last month.
You know, that is so cool because it's like you said, so many people dream of being in some type of pageant or another, and for you to actually live that dream. And it's funny, you mentioned Texas came runner up, and of course I'm in Texas, so dang, we got nothing to do.
That's why I throw that out there.
I'm so happy you're number one. That's so awesome. And you're the very first one, like you mentioned. You're the very first Mr. United, right? That is so cool.
Yes. You know, I think it's interesting because a lot of people, when they heard that, they were just like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know if you remember many years ago, I believe it was back in 1983, I believe it was, when Vanessa Williams won Miss America. There was a lot of pressure on Vanessa Williams, and then all the things happened, and then she got dethroned. Well, not necessarily dethroned. Let me take that back. I want to make sure I'm accurate. She relinquished her crown. She stepped down, and she allowed the runner-up to be the Miss America because of all the allegations and things like that. She just wanted to be left alone. So I will say that it's a lot of pressure, not necessarily from the organization itself, because the organization itself, they're just like, hey, whatever you need us to do, you let us know, okay? So they're just all smiles and they just want to see the very best. But for me, it's a lot of pressure from me because I expect a lot of myself, which is why 48 hours after I was crowned, I was already in the community passing out food at one of the events and things like that. So if you actually go to my Facebook page, my Mr. US United Facebook page, you'll actually see that. And it was a lot of fun. But I said, I expect a lot of me because the title does not mean anything if I myself am not willing to get in the community and do what needs to be done. It's nice to stand and smile and wave and get invited to all the balls and things like that. But being a pageant king means more than just smiling and waving. You get your hands dirty, you get your tail in the community, and you do some volunteering as well, which I was already doing, but now it's been magnified.
I love that, because like you said, a lot of people, all they do is they do the talk, right? They never do walk, they never walk the walk. And I'm so happy that you're sharing that because just like the title, you got the title, which is great. And some people will just, hey, they'll just, do all the social on that. And this is what I got. And then that'll be the end of it. But you're walking a walk and doing all the support and using that title to accomplish something. That is so amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. But I will say that the part that no one tells you is there's a whole contract that comes along when you get crowned. Okay. So if you don't do the things you're supposed to do, you are required to make appearances. So that is something that I will tell everyone. And while I'm on that, let me make sure I tell you guys this. So I got my photos back today, actually last night, from the photographer. And if you ever decide to compete in a pageant, please make sure you do not do the ugly cry. Okay? And everybody knows what the ugly cry is. The cry where you're scrunching your face up and all of that stuff. So on so many of the photos, the photographer caught me like, oh, and I'm like, oh God, girl, you couldn't have waited until I closed my mouth. And, so just make sure you don't do the ugly cry, okay?
And I hope they don't publish the ugly cry pictures.
Please delete those. Oh man, but it's been great so far. It's been really great.
So, we are here at Becoming the Best You. And we are featured speakers here. And, I know that you love talking about, everyone has this great potential within them. and how you use that potential to change the world is what matters. So what have you gone this whole Mr. United, and moving forward, like how are you going to change the world?
So my national platform is that of financial literacy, and I educate communities on financial literacy through showing them the power of their voice. So as you and I, we get paid to run our mouth. So hence the reason that we're here at BCBY, right? So we get paid to run our mouth. So that's one of the things that I show people. I show them how to not only craft their message, but I show them how to capitalize on that. So in terms of what I've learned from Mr. US United, what I've learned is that networking is everything. And I know that a lot of people, when they communicate and they network, a lot of people do it incorrectly. Most times when people network, because I'm going to be speaking about two of these things when I get on stage. One is that of networking, and then the other one is, where exactly are you going? Are you following your GPS? Are you following your goal positioning system, right? So when you think about networking, most times people network and they want to network up. Issa Rae says that one of the things that you have to do is network across. There are so many people that are on the same level as you that are aspiring to be that person that people want to reach for up here. But oftentimes we do not want to pay attention to the people that are right here. And we're only looking at the Oprahs, the Les Browns, the Grant Cardones and things like that. But we have an Andy that's right here. We have a Brenda that's right here. We have a Saucony Prince that's right here. We have a Marsha Mickens that's right here. We don't look at the people that are here. We only want to see the people that are here. So when you think about networking, I'm gonna give y'all a tip. So if y'all are listening, okay, this is where you want to write this down, okay? Do not network with someone based on them being able to help you. Okay, don't do that. Do not network with someone just because you think that that person can help you. People do business with people that they know, they like, and they trust. So when you first meet someone, oftentimes the person will come and they'll say, oh, what do you do?
Correct.
What do you do is not important, because I may not even like you. How many times have you found someone that does exactly what you need, but then you sit and you talk to them and they're the nastiest person ever, or you guys just do not click? When you first meet someone, you meet their personality, which is who you think they are. It's only after you get to know them that you meet their character, which is who they actually are. And oftentimes when we meet someone, we're meeting their personality. We're like, oh my God, this person's awesome. A month later, we're like, ew. It's the same thing in relationships, but that's a whole nother story. So you never want to ask a person, hey, what do you do? Instead, when someone asks you that, my response is always, honey, I live my life. What about you? Because what I do is not important. And then on top of that, you often will have people that will connect with you, and they do not mean you any good, but they'll connect with you because they see where you're going. That weeds that out. So when you pretend like you don't do nothing and you just are really sitting there to get the feel of the person, because once you know someone, you know what they do. You like that person at that point. So know, like, and then if you decide to really get to know them, you'll trust them. So therefore, there's no reason to ask that question. That is an inundated question that no one needs to ask. So if you wrote that down, make sure that you apply that, because I'm telling you, it will be gold. So that's one of the things that I've learned, because the reason I even found out about US United, the pageant system, is because I had a friend of mine. Her name is Virginia Madison, AKA Gigi. She just passed her nursing exams. So she called me and she started telling me about the pageant system, and she was like, hey, I think that you would be really good. And I said, really? I said, you think so? I said, do you think I'm pretty enough? And she's like, yes, I think so. She's like, you're one of the most beautiful men I've ever met. And I'm like, well, I mean, thank you. I try. So I only got to that point because Gigi and I have built a rapport with each other. So because we built that rapport, she decided to extend that opportunity to me in order for me to research and then compete. So when you know and you like and you trust those people, there is no reason for you to ever network incorrectly. So that's what I learned from this so far.
I love that, because it is so true. So many people are always saying, hey, I want to step up. I want the next person higher up to promote me. So we get ability from someone that is much higher up. And I think that's from work experience. That's always how it is. You want to be promoted next up. So you need to find the next person higher up. And that's so true, where we get that ingrained in us to try to impress the person above us, right? But I love your idea. You're not impressing them. You're just putting them at ease to get to know each other first. And to be honest, I think that's the first time I've heard this. Because if you talk to anyone about networking, they'll say, hey, you need to narrow down your elevator pitch within that 1 minute. So you know what you're going to say, what you do in that 1 minute. And but then it's sort of like what you say is like, well, if what I say, what I do has nothing to do with what you're doing in your life right now, you're going to forget me anyway. Like,
that's
there's
right.
no Andy, right?
That's right.
You know, so
that's right.
What is your response again? I think the viewers will probably love that. Like, what is the response? Hey, Prentice, so what do you do?
Andy, child, let me tell you, I live my life. What about you, honey?
Look at that.
That is my response. And that's my response every single time. Because what I do is not important. You know, like when you think about it, when you think about an elevator pitch, right? An elevator pitch is to sell you. That is to show what it is. I did a training that was taught by Lisa Nichols. Everyone knows who Lisa Nichols is. She's one of the most sought out speakers in the entire world. So Lisa Nichols did a training and she said, let's throw the elevator pitch away. She said, because when a person is looking to hire someone or they're looking to get information from you, they don't care about your elevator pitch, which is so true. Nobody cares about what you do. That's another networking tip, y'all. Okay. Y'all got that? Nobody cares about what you do. The people only want to see results. Okay. That's it. They only want to see the results because we are result driven. We're not work driven. We're result driven. So you throw away the elevator pitch and you only speak to the result of what you do. As a result of my financial literacy coaching, I have improved people's financial literacy by 30% based on a scale of this many people that I've serviced. Now it's like, oh, okay, that was not an elevator pitch. Yeah. I still haven't told you about the business. I still haven't told you anything about that. But now you know exactly what it is that I am able to provide to you. So I network completely differently because when I've watched people network, and I've been in this field for quite some time. And when you watch the way that people maneuver, I go the other way. I've been told that by Jim Rohn when I listened to a training he did. He said, observe the masses and do the opposite. Right. So if you pay attention, everyone will teach you to network the same way. Narrow down your list. Who has my money? As Grant Cardone says, who's got my money? You know, I don't do that simply because everyone else is going to do that. Instead, I want to know you. Teach me about you. And I genuinely want to know you. I had a guy that I met because by day I'm a sky angel, as I call it. I be walking in the clouds, y'all. I work for a major U.S. carrier as a flight attendant as well. And I ain't been to work but one time this whole month. But anyway, so I met this guy. His name is Xavier. He goes by Zay. He has a clothing line called Moonlight Apparel. And I met him when I was getting ready to go into the airport. He and I, we clicked. Afterwards, we ended up having a conversation. And then from that point forward, we ended up building a rapport with each other. We built a friendship, right? After that, I posted something online, and he's not my Facebook follower on Facebook. He's not a friend of mine on Facebook. But I got a phone call from him saying, hey, I reached out to these podcast individuals that I know. I reached out to these magazine companies that I know, and they want to do a story on you. I didn't ask him to do that. I didn't ask him to do any of those things. However, because the rapport has been built, now he sees the value that I'm bringing to him, and then vice versa. Guess what? He has a fashion show. I decided to reach down into my network, and I called a few of my buddies that are LA actors, and some of them you may know. And I said, hey, can you walk in his fashion show? That way you guys can promote it for him. Yeah. And they say, sure, just let us know what it is. But did he ask me to do that? No. Know, like, and trust.
Right.
That's why I'm teaching that at Becoming the Best You.
I love that. I think that is so important because most of us don't even get to know our friends enough to know how they really are. Know them, not just know what they do, but know them, that you can actually have honest to good referral for them, knowing that that referral is going to be taken care of, right? That's the same thing for me. It's like if I'm referring someone, it's going to be someone that I trust rather than just someone from Yelp or from Google search or whatever it may be. You can have the highest rating, but if I don't know who you are and I don't trust you, I'm not going to refer you. I don't care how many stars you got under the rating,
That's right. That's right. That is so true. We have a gentleman here, Tommy Morgan. He's like this big. I don't care. I just want to make sure I let everybody know I taught him everything he knows, y'all. Okay? I taught him everything he knows. Y'all see that? Y'all see that, right? My arm's bigger than his. It just looked like they're not, okay? But there's a guy here. His name is Tommy Morgan. He is the one that he owns Next Level Fitness or Next Life Fitness. And he shows gentlemen how to lose weight. And it's not even lose weight, but how to become healthier, how to become full with mind, body, and spirit. And I think it's so interesting because when a person is looking for a personal trainer, right? If you look at all of these trainers, if you saw me and you saw Tommy and I came and I told you I was a personal trainer, if I got a gut from here to there, my arms saggy, and you would be looking at me like, oh, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. But you see Tommy, this guy is jacked, okay? This guy's arms are like this big, okay? It looks like he got 2 mountains sitting on top of him, right? Like his muscles have muscles. Like, it's crazy. So you see him, you're like, oh, no, I'm going to go with him. Why? Because he looks credible. He is the person that has the credibility, right? Especially now, if let's say that you had a friend that referred Tommy to you, now you're more likely to use him because you've had that person that you trust,
yes,
that that you like, that you have that rapport with. Then now you're like, okay, yeah, I will use him. As opposed to me with no stars. I can have 5 stars, but if you're looking like, okay, now it's the same thing like when you go on Amazon, and when you go on Amazon, you're looking at like all of the reviews and stuff like that. But more than likely, you're like, yeah, I'm good. Now, let me, have y'all know this? And you still look it on Facebook or Instagram and be like, hey, can y'all refer me to a good juicer? Because I'm looking for one. Regardless of what it says, you want the people that you know, like, and trust to tell you, oh, yeah, hey, I got this one.
That is so true. That is so true. I think that is one of the most important things once you start networking, but also about, improving the people around you, your tribe, right? The people that you know and trust, like-minded and stuff. So, Prentice, what is the best way for people to get a hold of you if they want to learn from you, to learn more of these great golden nuggets for networking? Because like I said, everyone's doing it wrong. They want to be doing it right if they want to like 10x, 100x their business, or even to build better friendships.
Yeah, so all of my social media is under I am Prentice Ahmad. So that's Facebook, that's Instagram, that's TikTok, that's anywhere that you think of. It's Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok are the ones that I use. I also have LinkedIn. If y'all know how to work LinkedIn, please let me know because, baby, that's like foreign to me. But anyway, so those are the social medias that I have. If you guys want to connect, let me know. If you guys are interested in competing in a pageant, also let me know. I'll be more than happy to give you guys the information. And yeah, let's go from there, y'all.
Great. Thank you so much for being on the show. We have to get back to BTBY to, get ready for our talks, and, just throwing it out there. If you want to see what Prentice is going to be talking about, I'm pretty sure BTBY has a virtual event to even have, the replay on that too. So I'm looking forward to what you're sharing on the stage at BTBY. Thank you for being on the show, Prentice.
Thank you so much.
When we hear chronically, we tend to think about chronic diseases and pains, but it doesn't have to be. You can be chronically healthy. Having a chronically healthy life means everything to us. Life stands for longevity, independence, family, and environment. And when you have these 4 things figured out, your life is going to be beautiful.
Our biggest threat to our health is hidden in plain sight. It is in our water. We can't see the poison and the radiation in our waters, but it is hurting us. Our soils are so depleted of nutrients, and when our soils are depleted, so are our foods. Our air is filled with pollution and chemtrails that there are days when we can't even go out and breathe the air. All these threats that we can't see, we can't hear, and we can't feel, but it is certainly hurting us.
There are more and more unexplained heart attacks, unexplained terminal cancer, unexplained young health adults suddenly dying for no explanation at all. Doctors are baffled. What happens when doctors don't have an answer? What happens if you ask your teacher a question and they don't have an answer for you? You go find your answer somewhere else.
And that's why we created Chronically Healthy Life. We are here to give you answers on how to keep you healthy and your family healthy. There is so much information. We can't tell you everything during our show, but we can keep you informed through our newsletters.
So go to chronicallyhealthylife.com and sign up for our newsletters. It is free and it is our gift to you. We want you to have a chronically healthy life, and we are here to help you get there. So go to chronicallyhealthylife.com and sign up. And when you sign up, you also get a free downloadable book, our book, Gut Matters, to start you on your journey towards optimal health.
Hello, we are Mutts and Meows Rescue, a 501c3 nonprofit, foster-based, no-kill group. Mutts and Meows Rescue pulls dogs and cats from surrounding shelters in the greater Houston area. We even pick up dogs and cats abandoned on the streets. Mutts and Meows Rescue is foster-based and rely on your donations to keep rescuing. To know more about us is to know more about our furry friends and help them find their forever homes. Come visit us at Mutts and Meows Rescue on Facebook today and decide how you can make a difference.
Hi, this is Clara Capano, your host for Women Winning Their Way, where we talk about how you can create success all on your terms. Join us Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Limelight Network here on E360 TV.
Welcome back to Chronically Healthy Life. I think the thing that we want to take away from this show is that there are hidden toxins and poisons in your environment, and you can't see it, you can't feel it, you can taste it, but it's there and it's definitely killing us. So we want you to just be aware of your environment and do everything you can just to keep you healthy.
I agree. And, I'm actually at BTBY event. So if you can't be there in Kansas with us, make sure you get our virtual tickets. The virtual ticket, I think, is like $10 for the 3 days. And you get to see like 40 amazing speakers. So definitely check that out. But next week, we have Mark Fuselier from Fit20. And he's going to be talking about how aging is related to exercising.
Aging is related to, so aging causes exercising?
Well, actually,
exercising causes aging?
Well, actually, he's going to teach you how you can slow down aging with a specific type of exercise.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yes.
So join us next week on Friday, 7 p.m. CST. You can watch past episodes of Chronically Healthy Life at watch.e360tv.com in the Vitality TV network. And of course, we'd love to hear from you. You can give us your comments on our Facebook page, Chronically Healthy Life, and rewatch this episode on our website, chronicallyhealthylife.com, or our YouTube channel, or email us at anything@chronicallyhealthylife.com.
See you next week.